welcome back to the channel. Today what I'm going to be talking about is why is it that I say that Ronnie Coleman ruined professional bodybuilding. And the reason that I say that is Ronnie Coleman developed a physique that no one else in this era of bodybuilders have been able to come close to the physique that this guy developed. Not even Phil Heath. And Phil Heath is the next winningest Mr. Olympia out there. Even he hasn't been able to develop a physique better than that of Ronnie Coleman. Ronnie Coleman, bodybuilding always have an evolution, from one set of bodybuilders to the next set, from 1 year to the next year. Ronnie Coleman, once he became Mr. Olympia, and the footage that I'm showing is his 1998 conditioning, which is, in my opinion, his greatest condition that the guy was ever able to have. He wasn't able to quite duplicate that type of conditioning again, but he was able to get even larger than this guy was then, which is, out there. It's out of sight as what this guy was able to accomplish. Now, with all the bodybuilders of old and of new, there's no one that has come close to Ronnie Coleman. I mean, no one. There's no one you can look at that have created the type of physique that this guy have. Even Jay Cutler, who ended up beating him, Jay Cutler still wasn't able to build the type of physique that Ronnie Coleman had. Comparing Ronnie Coleman to even Arnold and bodybuilders of old, that's not even a competition. Now, giving all respect to Arnold for bringing bodybuilding to more of a mainstream type thing, he did do that. But let's be realistic. Ronnie Coleman is the top tier of bodybuilding. The type of physique that this guy was able to create is what the next level bodybuilder would have to create in order to become the next greatest. Phil Heath came close, but he was not quite there. I mean, if Ronnie Coleman was in his best condition, Phil Heath couldn't hold a hat to him. Nobody could, because like I said, this guy has created something that, at least for the next 5 years, I don't see anyone coming close to developing a physique better than what this guy was able to do over his career. I don't see anybody that can be able to do that. Nobody, even to come in, not even the ones that's coming up behind him, these new guys, nobody is going to come close to what Ronnie Coleman was able to accomplish. First of all, this guy had a mindset far beyond what we can really think. I mean, his mindset was light years ahead of ours when it comes down to building a physique. And you hear this guy say a lot of times like that he was born to do that. It seemed kind of like a corny cliche or whatever, but it really appears that this guy was actually made for what he did. I mean, he was just God gifted with this genetic potential that I don't see with anybody else. You look at guys like Big Raymond, these guys they have nice size and stuff like that, but Big Raymond have flaws, even though he's very huge. You look at bodybuilders like him, and Roy Winkler, tremendously huge guy, and you would think these huge guys would be able to accomplish what Ronnie accomplished because they have so much size. But Ronnie's physique was so detailed and so chiseled until the guy was like an anatomy chart. He didn't have any weak spots. I mean, from the calves thighs, waistline. You know, at one time, the guy had no weaknesses at all. You know, but he was able to accomplish this. That's something that I don't see for, I know, the next 5 years. That's why I say the guy ruined professional bodybuilding, because we as people are always looking for the next greatest thing. And when we don't get it, everything's just seemed like subpar. You know, like all the Olympians now. I mean, there is so little competition from where Ronnie left off, from where Phil left off, until really there's really nothing else to really look forward to being the Mr. Olympia. Now, if Phil Heath can win the 2020 Mr. Olympia and bring in that old school physique that he had back then that's something to look forward to. But that's something we've already seen, and that physique that Phil have brought in back then, it still didn't surpass what Ronnie was able to do. So Ronnie, he took the level of professional bodybuilding so high until there is really no one else to look forward to toppling that. Because again, it's like I said, we always looking for the next greatest thing. And Ronnie Coleman was the greatest thing. So who will be the next greatest thing? There's nothing out there. The biggest guys that we have is Roller Winkler and Big Raymond. Those are really the biggest guys we have out there. And Big Raymond, like I said, he still have those flaws that he have with his lower back, with his calves looking smaller than they should be for the thighs that he have. We just don't have anybody that can create that physique that Ronnie Coleman was able to create. And until we get that next tier, because we already know about Ronnie Coleman, we already know about what he has accomplished. Until we get that next tier, we're always going to look at every other Mr. Olympia as being subpar. Because the level of competition that Ronnie Coleman has created is so high, until I don't think that, at least for the next 5 years, that we'll ever see that again. And that's pretty much it. We'll never see it. Anyway, that's what I wanted to talk to y'all about. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. And again, I'll be talking to you later.